Hi everyone, it's Miss Kristy from East Pennsboro Library, and I am here with a fun Easter craft that is edible that you could use at your Easter dinner. Let me show you a picture of what it's going to look like. See, there's a little Easter house right here, and I have a little street, and I put some umbrellas there, and I'm going to show you how to make the Easter bunny car. And let me show you mine. Here's what I'm talking about. I don't have the car. Here's the one that I made. Now, we're not going to go through the whole thing, but you can see how I decorated a lot of it. And it's all edible, except I will tell you that mine, I used the glue gun on the house because I wanted to make sure that it was strong enough that I could decorate it for the video. All right, so let's see what kind of materials we're going to need for this project. You're going to need graham crackers, 3 will make 1 house, white icing, small baggies, you know, these so that you can just nip a little of the end off, scissors, the Peeps Easter Bunny, dot Skittles, jelly beans, or any other decorations that you want to use for your house. For the bunny car, you need 1 Twinkie or Long John cake. Let me show you my bunny car here quick. I used like a little Twinkie. I think I got it from the Dollar Tree. I'm going to make a chocolate one for you with this during the video. 1 marshmallow peep bunny, 4 small round crackers for the wheels, a small pretzel. It might be round, it might be chocolate coated. It just has to be small enough so that it looks like the steering wheel, white icing, and small baggies. All right, so let's look at what we're going to do for this project. All right, let me take a look at the directions with you first for the house, because I'm going to get the house started first and show you how to do that. You're going to break 3 graham crackers in half, break along the perforations to make sure that you keep the sides even. Sorry guys, my allergies are terrible. My throat has been so scratchy and rough the last 3 days. You're going to break 1 of the graham crackers in half again, cut it into a triangle to form the roof of the house. And let me show you, I glued this down because I was trying to make something special, but you see how it's a little triangle right there? Because mine, since I used the glue gun and I'm going to add the other car to it and made it all pretty, it is going to actually be an Easter gift for my mother. So let me go back to where I was though. So you're going to put white icing in the baggie and snip off the end. That's what you're going to use for your glue. You're going to use the icing and attach the graham cracker half to each side of the roof. Attach a graham cracker to each side and the top to form the house, and I'll show you how to do all that. And then if you want, I attached a graham cracker to the bottom of it too to make it a little bit more sturdy. And then once the icing's dry, you can use more icing and you can decorate it. That's the reason I use the glue gun on that one. But if you use icing and you let it dry overnight and then you decorate it with icing, you can eat it for Easter. Or you can eat the little card. Now my card doesn't have a glue gun on it. So you can put an Easter bunny inside your house or anything else that you want. All right, so I'm going to show you first how to set that up so that it can dry overnight for you, and then you can put it together and decorate it. And then I'm going to make a bunny car for you. So let's take a look at what we've got here. 3 graham crackers, and we're going to break them in half along the perforations like that. And then 1 of them, I'm going to break in half. Again, let me make sure that I don't, there we go. I want to do it real gently. Okay, I'm going to put those to the side. Now I'm going to take a piece of wax paper so that it doesn't stick to it, and lay it down here. And I'm going to take my icing, and you can see I had already had one that I had made, but I made the roof a little too big on it. So I'm going to put a little bit of icing in my baggie. Just take like a spoonful here, because this is going to be your glue. Now, I used it earlier when I was practicing, and when I made the bunny car. Then I put it in the refrigerator because I think it'll work a little bit better as glue if it's a little more solid. So you just kind of make sure you have that icing all the way down in your baggie. I have to work it down a little bit. See, pop the air bubbles out. You can see what I'm doing here. All right, so now I'm just gonna nip off just the tip of the baggie. And then I'll have the icing coming out like it's glue. If you can see that, I might take a little bit more off the end here, just so it's a little thicker. Throw that away. All right, so the first thing that I want to show you is this. This is going to end up being your triangle, but don't cut the triangle out first because it's a little bit odd shaped when you try to put it together like that. So what I did was I made my line of icing like that on here, and I stuck this to it. After I did that, I cut the triangle out because then I was sure that it was even. You're going to want to try to take a sawing motion on the graham cracker. So then you can see that it kind of now looks like the top of the house. I'm going to go ahead and put that together a little bit better there now that I did that. I just wanted to make sure it was even. Okay, next part. Real easy. I take one of these graham crackers with another one, and you're just going to glue them to the sides of your house like this. Let me see if you can see what I'm doing here. I'm just going to do glue or icing them like that so that it makes the top. And in order to do that, I'm going to put the icing, and I'm going to keep it flat on this paper because when it dries tomorrow, you can scoop that off. All right, and I'm going to take these. Put them, onto the side of the house like that. And then I'm going to put some glue down in the center of these two. Some glue, some icing. So now you can see, let me see if I can scoot this around because it takes a little bit of time. The icing has to dry or it'll fall apart. So you can kind of see what I did here. And then the last part is so easy. All you're going to do is just put the sides of your little house up like this with a little bit of our glue. There we go. Get a little more in here. All right, and then I'm going to put some right in here so that it sort of sticks to the roof a little bit. Get the other side here. Put a little bit in here so it sticks to the roof. Let me get, oh my goodness, there we go. All right. So it's going to kind of stick to the roof. And then you can just let that set. You might have to put a little bit more. There we go. And then you want to let that set on the wax paper overnight until it dries. On mine, I took the extra graham cracker and I kind of put a little door on it like that. And then I broke another piece of graham cracker and put a little door on here. And then I took another graham cracker and I made a bottom on it, but I waited until the next day when it was dry to do that. And actually that one, there we go. So then if you let that dry overnight, you can then set it up and it can become your Easter peep house. All right, so let me see if I can hold this up. And now that's going to dry overnight. Let me put that to the side and let's look at the instructions for the little Easter peep car. I put a little umbrella in the back of mine for this one. The other one I'm going to make into a drag race car and have the umbrella just opened up halfway. So we're going to take a look at that next. And let's look at our instructions. You're going to cut a notch in the Twinkie and insert the Peep Bunny. Insert the pretzel in front of the bunny for the steering wheel, using the icing bag pipe icing onto the 4 cookies and attach it for the wheels. And you can use all different kinds of cakes in your own creativity. This one I made with a vanilla Twinkie, but the one I'm going to make to go along with it, I'm going to make it a chocolate Twinkie today. So let's take a look at how you are going to put this together really quick and easy for edible Easter decorations. All right, so I've got my chocolate Twinkie right here, and the first thing I'm going to do is cut a notch out of it just enough so that I can get the side here. You can see what I'm doing here, just enough to put in the rabbit. Better to cut a little less the first time and need to cut a little bit more. And then you're going to take that piece out. See how I cut a notch in there? And you could eat it. I'm going to throw it away. And all I got to do is then I can just stick my little rabbit right in there. This is so quick and so easy. And get one of my little pretzels here and stick that in there for the steering wheel. See, we're getting that to look like a car. And then I'm going to take a bag again, and I'm going to put a little bit of white icing in it to use to stick the wheels on. You just need a little tiny bit in a little bag like we did for the house. Nip the end off. And I got these little mini cookies that I'm going to use for my wheels. All right, so I'm going to put a little bit of, what I did when I did mine was I flipped it kind of on the side. And I put the icing right here, or the glue. And then I stuck the wheel on it. Same thing right up here, a little bit of icing. Stick my wheel on. And then I just flipped it over. And it looks a little lopsided right now, but it won't once you put the other 2 wheels on. I put my other 2 wheels on. And then I set that up. And look, I have an Easter Bunny car. And you could sit that at somebody's place sitting for Easter. And then they could eat it when they're all done. I'm going to throw my icing bag away. And I'm going to add this guy to what I already have made here. My little Easter town for my biggest fan, my mother. And I'm going to add my little race car right here into my little town with my little peepee house. And I just took some doily and made that. So you could make a nice little Easter scene. And like I said, everything's edible. My house, I did use the glue gun on because I wanted it to be a little more permanent, but I showed you how to make the house using icing. All right, so I hope that you get to try this great craft. And if you do, please share what you've done with us at on Facebook or with me via email at kscrignoli@ccpa.net. Don't forget to check all of our programs at our website under the online program tab. And as always, I have to remind you with my Easter mask to make sure that when you go out in public that you mask up so I can see you in person really soon. Have a great night.